We need to take a little bit closer look at Dan Ige's fight with Calvin Kattar. I came away from the card with a greatly different opinion than most people had. I thought that two of the stars of the card were Stamen and Ige. And before you go, Chael, did we watch the same card? Both of those guys lost. Yeah, I understand that they lost, but you have to understand what they were up against, okay? Stamen is dealing with a death in the family. He has had 2 fights within 2 months at 2 different weight classes on 2 different continents. He went out there and stepped up and fought them all. And by the way, Rivera is a tough night out. Stamen went out there and went blow for blow, round for round, minute for minute with a guy that's got to win over Uriah Faber. And he did this in less than a 2-month turnaround at a different weight class on a different continent while in mourning. I was very impressed with him. I was impressed with the composure. I was impressed with the athleticism. Partway through Stamen at this weight class, where it looked like he was going to be the winner, I was thinking, what do we have to do to get Stamen and Josh Emmett together? I mean, that was just a thought going through my head. Now, the night didn't play out that way, and Rivera won. So any compliment I'm giving Stamen, by default, I'm giving a larger one to Rivera, but I had a very similar opinion with Ige. I mean, Calvin Kattar is a tough night out, and not to mention, if you go look at the disparity within their 2 rankings, okay? Many people were complimenting Calvin for taking a fight with a lower ranked guy. Yeah, okay, fine. Fight whoever you want, but if that's a new thing amongst the world of sissies that we do live in, and there are a lot of sissies included in that locker room, apparently you don't fight a guy that's ranked lower than you. I don't know that I can credit Calvin, but a lot of people did. And if you are giving him that credit, and that is a real talking point, then you have to also give that to Ige, who's stepping up and taking a harder ranked guy. That appears to never be how it's looked at. It's looked at like, oh, well, Ige's got everything to gain because this is a harder ranked guy, and Calvin's taking the risk here. Fine. If you're one of these wimps that likes to overthink everything, that's fair, but then you have to look at Ige, who just had a fight with Barboza. That's relevant that he just fought Barboza. You go look at anybody else that went the distance from Barboza, and you tell me, one guy that's ever had as quick of a turnaround is Ige. You don't get done going the distance with Edson Barboza and then be able to go back into training camp and then back into competition on this short of a turnaround. You just don't. Oh, by the way, the turnaround was also 70% more contest, 5-round fight. So Ige is now in the 5-round club. The 5-round club is a very rare club. We talk about it a lot over here, but it's a very rare club. I'll put in perspective and use Vitor Belfort because it's a name that I know you will know. And I know it's a name who you respect. Vitor Belfort is a world champion who will be in the Hall of Fame, who is not and never will be in the 5-round club. Just by example, it's a very rare thing to ever even be booked in a 5-round contest. That means you're either a main event or a title fight. No other way you're even going to get 25-minute atmosphere. Then to actually do it and complete it, it's a very rare thing. And your first time is a major experiment. It's a major test. Even you don't know how you're going to respond. So for Ige to go out there in higher competition, take everything that Calvin had to throw at him and push through to the bitter end, man, I thought he looked awesome. I really did. Now, judges had it right. Calvin beat him. And Calvin's got this tricky uppercut. And for a guy as long as Calvin, that uppercut is a weapon. That is a tool to utilize, but it takes years of training. For guys with long arms, it's about the straights. You're not going to see a lot of hooks. You're not even going to see him to the body, whereas logically you would think, well, a guy with long arms, he should be able to dig to the body. Yeah, I agree with you, but for some reason they don't. For Calvin to be, you'll be coming in to charge him, boom, he'll just slip an uppercut in with no setup. He'll go jab to uppercut. He'll go cross to hook to uppercut. He will just constantly surprise you and constantly hurt you. Ige was doing some hurting right back. Ige was touching him on the nose. Calvin then has this incredible wrestling defense. He's a great wrestler, but he doesn't use it offensively. He prefers to stand up. He's a Western boxer. He'll slip a kick in here or there. Kind of like Stipe in that regard. Yeah, he's got some kicks. Yeah, it's a tool. Yeah, his coaches make him work on it. And yeah, he'll break it out every now and then. He's a boxer. He's going to use that wrestling for defense, but he's a boxer. I mean, Calvin, the star is very bright for Kattar, who also, by the way, is in the 5-round club, who passed that with flying colors. I mean, this was a high-paced, action-packed match between 2 studs but neither one of these guys slips. No way. No way. Ige proved his point. Ige's the real deal.